journey poured in rhyming words, and world become dimension full of feelings. It's life upon a poem, where thoughts are freed and imaginations are exceeded. It's life upon a poem, where things that are written contains different types of emotions. And I hope every message are delivered, for it to have its meanings, to be felt, and to be remembered deep within the mind. Sticks in the memories, as I hope for it to become memorable. Hello everyone! Happy World Poetry Day! My name is Cintya Labetta, and this is my book Life Upon a Poem. On this day, 21 March of 2021, not only that it is World Poetry Day, it also happens to be my 19th birthday. And on this very moment, I feel really happy. Do you guys know why? Because this project runs very well and even exceed my expectations, as there are lots of supports coming from my friends. I feel very honored that my poems are being read by all of these amazing individuals, and seeing them reading those poems, it feels like those written pages are coming alive. Thank you very much for everyone who has spared their time and participate in this project. I really cannot thank you guys enough, as for words cannot describe how thankful I am for your support. So without any further ado, let's enjoy the show.
People and Books by Cintya Labetta. Getting to know someone is like reading a book full of chapters that are filled with riddles and accompanied by its series. Don't skip the first part, because then you'll never figure them out, since you'll miss out the first step to get to know them. Don't skip to the climax, nor skipping the climax, because you'll miss out every little detail and end up missing the very important part of their story as a whole. The reason behind every single thing that they did. And worse, don't ever skip to the last part, because with that, you'll never know their fights, all the efforts that they've put to reach their goals, and the stories behind their every success. But never go for the next series if you haven't read the previous one, as it will only leave you clueless, because there might be a lot of plot twists in their life. Then again, even after you read all the chapters and finished all the series, you'll never understand them like they do, because you might guess, but you never really know the true answer to all those riddles.
The riddles that they put between every chapters, the key to solve the mystery and unlock the secrets in every part of the stories that exist inside those books, as you never know. The right way to put those fraction of puzzles in their life, the way to connect pieces into one. After all, people have different perceives in every book that they read. Moreover, it's the author who decides what to put and what to hide, not letting certain things visible to the reader. As for them, they are the author of their own story, the holder of the key to all those riddles, the main characters that takes part of the story to describe the world of their own. So, don't judge someone, because you will never know them in the way they know themselves, because no one really knows about them, the life they've been through.
Burning flames. Fire burning in front of her as she witnessed. All the things she holds on to are slowly burning along with the flames. Hopes turning into smoke, becoming invisible as the air flows. Her heart is crumbling along with her mind deteriorating. Dreams are turning into small sands, gone as it wiped by the ocean of reality. She was breathing the poisonous air, hard to turn away as she was trapped inside the room full of tortures. Once more, the pain introduces itself to her, but this time it appears in its biggest form. And suddenly the window that was once seems too small become her only way to escape, reminding her that there are more than the pain she lives on. Then she realized she is bigger than the pain she ever felt. That the windows she sees were formed by her inside light. Suddenly it hits her. All this time, she relies on someone. She has underestimated herself because when she's trapped inside her deepest fear, no one noticed her inside screams. But she managed to survive as she saved herself from falling off the edges. Cintya, Amanda, Labetta.
Name by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Name, a small part of our identities, yet a big part of us. A portal to know what's inside, a way to recognize, and a way to memorize. Name, thing that shapes you, be it contains wishes, be it contains hope. It's a part of you that might seem small, but appears in your everyday life. It is precious because it's given with full heart. It is precious because it's a part of you.
Non-Sugared Latte by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Sitting there in the evening while sipping my favorite drink, feeling overwhelmed as I have the all too familiar taste inside my mouth running around greeting my taste buds. The taste that consists of two different flavors, but somehow manage to complete each other. The bitterness of coffee that tastes like an authentic representation of the misery in life,
mixed with the essence of creamy milk that ease it a little. Just like how those little white lies can make us feel a bit better. During those miserable times we had in life, whilst also giving us a hint of the real situation we are facing, is the perfect combination in this cup of life. The same combination that helped me to learn the non-sugar coated truth right in front of me. Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Wishing on a shooting stars, you had once told me the stargazing has always been your favorite, and that you wish you could catch a shooting star. I was amazed, but my mind wondered, where do all the shooting stars go after they disappeared? But the night when we both decided to stargaze under the night sky, I realized you're one of its own. The stars that I bet everyone wants to see, the answer of my thoughts, as your gaze reminds me of the beautiful night sky. I finally realized that the shooting stars has fallen and decided to stay with me. That's when I realized you're my shooting stars.
Love. It is the word I use to describe the abstract feeling inside my beating heart. The heart that beats faster when you're around, letting me see the masterpiece you truly are.
Love, the feeling one cannot deny, turning connection up to a solenoid as feelings prickle, resembling electricity that lead them close in it for each other.
This is memory. The memory is unbending, as it keeps its hostage in agony. When once the hostage was its master, that creates the memories and loves it as their masterpiece. One who holds on to it preciously, until one day, everything changed, and it seems like a wreckage for the one who holds on to it. But little do they know, it's easier to keep than to let go.
Just like Flowers by Cintya. Just like flowers that thought being pulled from its own roots is a way of being loved. Some people mistaken love with abuse. They misread pain, thinking of it as a common feels, a big part of loving that can't be denied.
And just like how human does anything, to make those flowers as their own. And some do not even realize that they have harmed those who they claim to love. Stop.
Don't mistaken love for distraction. Because if it was real love, then no one would be harmed. For that love is pure. It would help you grow, not destroy you.
Tears by Cintya Amanda Labetta. People cry when in pain, when they are stressed out.
And when they feel emotional, it is not merely a way to help them relieve, but it is also a sign of them becoming stronger. Strong enough to face their flames and cool with it. All with their own fears, because just like waters, tears stop the flame from burning.
Hesitation by Cintya Amanda.
For those of you who are standing in the midst of hesitation, don't worry. Keep standing, walk even further. No one in their entire lifetime remains untouched by hesitation.
So don't worry, it's not only you, but to decide, it's only you. Whether it becomes your biggest motivation or it becomes your biggest obstacles. But here's from me, never walk back.
Dear Best Friend by Cintya Amanda Labetta.
It was a very pleasing days. Days filled with laughter, surrounded by people who appreciate you for you who you are. People who are not shy to show their affection. Make sure to support each other. Telling ourselves that we could get through those hard times. Reminds one another to embrace the positive minds. It was a time when lonely nights felt less lonely, as their companion across the call, keeping me accompanied while doing those piles of tasks.
It might be hard that sometimes we cried so hard only to release the burden feels. But with you by my side, I could finally get through that time. Even in the end, when emergency came, we somehow figured out the way to handle. Thank you for everything, and I wish you the best of luck. Even now that we're on our own paths, I won't forget the time where we crossed paths. Lucky for me, I found you, my best friend.
Yellow by Cintya Amanda. Yellow, the color of the brimming lights, the lights that guard out of the dark, the color that warns us of dangers, remind us to be cautious and cheerful.
Yellow, the color that reminds me for that I'm just a human in it to be guarded and keep out of dangers. I'm only human, thereby I pray for God to keep me safe.
It's Over by Cintya Amanda Labetta. It's over, but the tears are done. It's over, but the pain doesn't stop. It's over, but we are still raging in pain. So tell me, is it truly over, or we are trying to make it over?
Ending chapter by Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Darling, if only I could hear your thoughts just like a melody in every song, or read your mind like every word's written on an open book. Maybe things between us would be better. If only I knew how my ego should be put aside, or let myself calm down before I talk in every argument we had. Maybe things will finally work out, because now that I realize it's not worth to replace something real
with an illusion of temporary satisfaction that only felt like it's real. It's not worth to lose you. When you dominate every corner around my heart like it's yours. But then, darling, if only I can understand you, I would know the reason why you won't fight for us. And I can finally stop searching for the possible answers. Just because the missing piece is still nowhere to be found. But I guess I'm left with no choice. Because the only closure that I have is only time. As you left none but sharp silence that worsened the pain. And now that I'm tired, I'm going to accept it's over for both of us. And just like that, our story ended without an ending chapter.
The world is small. They say the world is small. But I wonder, how small can it be? That two people longing for each other needs to struggle to find each other. The world is small, yet I'm still trying to find my pieces together, searching for it in every places to attach the puzzle. The world is small. Maybe it wasn't for human to say, as people are still tormented by the distance. The world is small, but still I'm relying my big hopes on it. By Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Beautiful Changes by Cintya Amanda Labetta. I was there, in the flower dome without flowers, only me standing, then running along, with traces of my footprints following, trying hard to make the solitude disappear while attempting to reach the place where I can be safe from the inciting whispers of cold winter breezes that always forces me to jump into the gloomy tunnel of hollow. But as time passes by,
feelings alternate. That loneliness became less lonely, and silence became somewhat beautiful melodies. The only loyal companion that can be found in this empty world, beside our raging spirits that divided our doubts. But no matter how empty it has been, the world still revolves, slowly inviting spring and greeting new things to come. Suddenly, the clear sky that was once seemed impossible finally appears, and this time the loneliness disappears as laughter breaks the silence and happiness replaces our fears. Then, without me realizing, my smile blooms along with those flowers. But unlike those flowers that blooms because of the weather, my smile formed after a different reason. It's you! At this time I realize you're here, and I'm no longer by myself. Furthermore, this time you finally decide to stay here and always by my side.
Luminous Moon by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Staying up all night, seeing the luminous moon, outstanding the dark of a clear night sky, revealing the truth to people who have wondered, what's it like behind the darkness as it brightens the night sky? By sharing its light with stars, making them twinkle as a way of thanking the moon, as I watched it, I understand. All along, the moon has taught us to be strong, fighting for ourselves no matter how big the hindrance, telling us that good things will follow, as it shows us how in the end it became. The brightest source of lights, bringing radiance to the night sky, even when the darkness surrounds.
Racism by Cynthia Amanda. You must already know how racism has been existing in this world. We all know how it is really bad. How could we let this go on? It is the casual of abuse that makes people suffers, one that creates wreckage as results, heartless enough to cause trauma. It is things that torn apart the unity that we have built together until there is nothing left but hatred in this world. Dear people, you need to realize how it ruins us humankind as it destroys humanity. We need to cut this evil and separate it away from our society. Love the difference, because it is uniqueness that makes the world a beautiful place.
When climate change speaks. This world speaks to us. It speaks through medium in the dimensions. It befriended us, hoping for us to befriend it. But we still don't realize its kindness makes us forget that we end up taking it for granted, not realizing the harms we have created, we created more.
But one day, when climate change speaks, it will be us seeking a way to apologize, seeking for a time machine to bring us back in time, the time where it hasn't happened, praying to God to start it all over again, begging for the situation to be better. Dear people, before the climate change decide to speak on its own, let's hear the world speak through the medium, and let the universe warns us.
Because it's still not too late now to try and save our world.
Once by Cynthia Amanda.
Once. I was once a girl, too innocent for this harsh world, too pure for the reality. I thought whenever one raging in pain, people will cry. People will hope for them to feel alright. Even the villain.
I love fairy tales, but instead I hope more for the villain to be able to learn how kindness would bring goods for them.
Even until now, I still have it on my mind, even though I realize how cruel people can be.
Time for Yourself by Cynthia Amanda Labetta.
There are some times you need to dedicate only for yourself without having to concern about how long has it takes.
Nor check your watch multiple times, because it is not worth to keep chasing and running along with the time. When you lose yourself, somewhere in the middle. Because when you lose yourself, you lose everything.
Regrets by Cynthia Amanda Labetta. Maybe it's all too late, and maybe it's how it meant to be. That's what I would like to think, but it's not enough to erase the memories, the regrets that I felt every time I reminisce the moment where I put my ego first and decided to let you go, the moment before the shore was drowned deep in the ocean and vanishes.
Before the story of us ended, here I am standing with miserable heartache, seeking for forgiveness, and it's all yours to give. Sorry, it's all that I want to say to you, till we meet again someday, even when we both have turned completely into a different person, because after all, I learned my lesson, and you're my best lesson.
Place We Call Home by Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Home. A place that held so many reasons for us to be strong. Stand up, while at the same time teaches us to love and appreciate. Telling us to be thankful of what we have. Home. A place where we can find ourselves laughing so hard, stomach hurts, and eyes are teary out of the excitement, awaken the sense, and boosting the moods, eradicating sadness on the hardest time, making us feel alive. Home, a place where best memories are made.
Running as our favorite movies began to play, exchanging thoughts to ease the mind, eating foods that made with wholeheartedly, letting us to converge with everyone we love. Home, a place which allows us to breathe the air that filled with love, not letting us run out of affection. It's home, the place that we always reach out for even after a long journey. No matter how far we have wandered, it still has a special room inside our hearts. And no matter how wonderful the other places are, home is still there inside our minds. It's home, the loveliest place to return, the place where I can always find comfort and contentment. I hope you realize you are the home I am talking about.
Reason to
Reasons
Smile.
to Smile by Cintya Amanda Labetta. And then again, rainbow dust come after the rain, makes the sky glow so effortlessly and spread happiness. Even after the sky have been in total gloom, all along we understand.
A reason for us to smile might come in sudden, in most unexpected situation, and even from the most unexpected person.
You and the Things That Makes Me Fall by Cintya Amanda Labetta. By this time, you still find your way to amaze me. It's not only your charming personality that softens me, as how love softens a tough heart,
but also your dedication in every work you do, and your noble intentions in initiating more peace. Those are the real love potions that happens to be suitable for my liking.
The World is Small by Cintya Amanda Labetta. They said the world is small, but I wonder, how small can it be? That two people longing for each other need to struggle to find each other. The world is small, yet I'm still trying to find my pieces together, searching for it in every places to touch the puzzles. The world is small. Maybe it was not for human to say, as people are still tormented by the distance. The world is small, but still, I'm relying my big hopes on it.
Writing is a part of self-love, because through those words you can listen to your own thoughts as you let it pour out. on those pages you wrote, understanding yourself is important. By Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Mistake by Cintya Amanda Labetta. You said it was a mistake that was not supposed to happen, a stubborn decision that destroys it all, the trust that we have built, and the memories we have made. You said it was your ego taking control over you, but how long? How long are you going to blame your ego instead of admitting that you yourself did it?
Learning Self-Love by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Funny enough, how I once struggled to love myself, while at the same time, I love you endlessly. Fun enough that I have to fight the fights to be there for me, when being there for you was never a problem. Funny enough, I have to learn to appreciate me.
When I appreciate you, and now I realize I'm sad that it takes time for me to realize, but I am lucky to acknowledge it sooner, that I should love myself more, because people might hurt you, but you'll never betray you.
Loving Someone by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Love to live and live to love. As for free souls,
Which one are you for? But don't misinterpret, because free heart can be broken too. As of love, it is to give and to take, a part that can't be separate.
Let's explore feelings. It's fun as long as you are not captivated by it and ended up being captured. Because it's dangerous, as you will be sucked into some real deep feelings and get stuck in it until no one knows when. It's better to stay out, since there are no guarantee that you will find your way to fully escape. Explore by Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Things About You by Cintya Amanda Labetta. Your eyes are way full of emotions, sort of magic in this world of reality, reflecting the soul full of sincerity, making it hard for me to resist, as it forcefully led me to keep on looking, without a clue of how I am already falling. And your smile, it's a true remedy for the soul.
A true form of fairy tales that light up, instantly putting the darkest days to end, while spreading comfort and spreading the warmth of your lovely soul. If only you knew how my heart reached out to you for your presence. If only you knew how my heart reached out for your presence, or how it beats when you're around, you'll easily figure it out. How I appreciate your existence in this universe. Your hypnotizing personality and your admirable dedication is the strongest weapon to break down my walls. And this time, I have decided I wouldn't dodge, because I know you're worth in every way to always be loved in every time.
Falling for You by Cintya Amanda Labetta. You,
How could you make it seem as if no action is full of sacrifices? How do you convince me enough that I easily fall for you and let you win over the others in this Who I Love contest held inside my heart? I guess I'm just too in love.
Sensing the rain. For those who cannot see the rain the same anymore. For those who have sensed the bittersweets of rain. And for those who sees the rain as a sign of things that one couldn't understand. How hurt has it been that you have mistaken pain for numb and even scared to start it all over with someone new. But trust me, once you see the rainbow, it is all over with happy things around, and you will finally see rain as new hopes.
Our memories are like crumpled papers, often filled with empty promises just to write down new things inside our life paths. But at the end, it's all to be thrown. It's just a matter of who's being hit last and ended up the last person holding it.
Us and Prayer by Cintya Amanda.
Every night I pray for the universe to bring us together, for it finally unite us. But sometimes I question, how do I love you this much?
Even when I still questions if you wonder the possibility of us to happen. Darling, tell me, do you even think of us?
Fear of getting hurt. There she goes again, longing for the kiss she once found in him, reminiscing all the sweets as it twinkles as bright as the sun. But as wonderful as the love sparks she felt, but as fast as a lightning, it alters into something she has felt but never fond of. Sorrow. She feels sorry for herself
because she lets her guards down and lets herself hurt. But the worst of it all is the dilemma that she felt. The dilemma between sorrow and happiness. Furthermore, feels and numb. Because she once stood there in silence, endeavoring to deny her feelings for him out of her fears of getting hurt. But now that she has conceded to herself, she does understand. That fear of getting hurt has hurt her even more. A poem by Cintya Amanda Labetta.
Morning Wind by Cintya Amanda Labetta. I was standing there in solitude when the morning wind breezes, and suddenly it became all too familiar as I reminisce the moment I left behind, when I decided to be away from the person that has changed, the way I sensed the morning wind, the refreshing wind that was once my favorite, before my senses changed and it somehow became too cold. Not wanting to torture myself, I ran away, not allowing the person to greet me with deceitfulness as another morning came by, because I know all it will give me is another false reason for me to believe. A reason that even one who says it hesitates to testify. But today, I finally feel the awakened spirits caused by the refreshing sensations. I finally feel the warmth of morning wind that I have longed for. As the universe revolves and feeling changes, I finally realized I have moved on, letting go of all the pain, and just like that, the joyful vibes of morning wind came back to my senses as I refused the fabricated love he once offered.
Undeniable Feelings by Cintya Amanda Labetta. She thought that the feelings were just a mistake, as another moment caught her off guard. but her heart keeps on beating fast, racing with her inner thoughts, rapidly moving to the direction he walks. And there she finally realizes that it was not something she could easily pass, because the feelings are real, that she still feels it, even when she denies.
There was a time of me wanting to do something I have always wanted, but never had the spirit of doing, hesitating by simply lack of motivation. Then I met you. You are the person that convinced me, the one who managed to discover my spirits, holding my hand and lead me to the light, helping me ablaze the fire of motivation inside. It's you, the source of my inspiration, a real living of masterpiece in this world we call home.
Beating of the Hearts by Cintya Amanda Labetta. It was a lovely evening. We were sitting by the round table in front of us, catching a glimpse of each other's eyes while smiling, allowing the silence to play its part, trying to focus on hearing each other's heart. But instead, I found your mix up with mine. As it turns out, our heartbeats on the same rhythm. Out the feelings I always wish you reciprocate. And from that moment, I know my wish is granted.
Dear society, you need to know how a simple negative word can change so many things. It can match people's feelings and ruins their day. Worse, it can break them into million pieces and ruins their life. So please, I beg you to stop. Stop doing it. Stop hurting people. Because it's a fact. No matter how much you try to neglect, I bet you know it's wrong. Then why still hurt them when you can create positive change with positive words?
So hi everyone. It's kind of hard to do a video when you're in a selfie mood. First of all, I'd like to say happy birthday to my dearest friend Cintya for her birthday. And in this session, I'd like to recite a poem from one of a poem. It's a poem from her book of poems named like Life Upon a Poem. The poem that I'm going to recite for her birthday is called Words and Act. It's on page 27. So I'm not very good at reciting a poem, especially in English, because I haven't not much experience on it, but let's see. Okay, so words and act. Everything happens for a reason, they say it. But when something occurs, they blindfold themselves and cover their ears, refuse to know the reason behind. But then they open their mouth, not to support, not to comfort, but to do the judging in every way and every side possible. Don't let them bring you down, because at the end of the day, it's you. It's you, the one who are brave enough to confront the problem while they hide and watch behind. By Cintya. Okay, so I think that it's done. As again, happy birthday for Cintya. Wish you all the best, and I'm not going to listen to myself reciting this poem because it's probably kind of cringy, but once again, thank you so much and happy birthday once again. Okay, wish you all the best.